What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Hold on. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Hold on. So many applications open with this. Hold on. I don't even see it. It's alright. Let's bring it all the way over. Here I come. Here I come. Here I go. Uh-oh, don't stop. Nigga, move. How y'all doing? There you go. Let's go.
See, a man is a man of his word and keeps his word. Snatches life by the collar, gets what he wants. But all of this power means nothing if he ain't happy. This is a man's world. This is a man's world. But it wouldn't be nothing, nothing without a woman or a girl. A man's got power, a man's got riches, a man's got respect, but haters in the trenches work day to day just to pay the bills. But behind all the lights, y'all, the struggle is real. He may be without a sheep. This is a man's world. But it Wouldn't be nothing, nothing, no, without a woman or a girl. See, a man's got dreams. A man wants to fly. Do what he gotta do, just to get by. See, a man come from nothing and make some of himself. But no matter how much money, see, a woman is his true wealth. This is a man's world, but it wouldn't be nothing, not one little thing, without a woman or a girl. Ooh, he would be lost in the wilderness. Hey, he would be lost in bitterness. He would be lost without a woman. Man, see, he would be lost without a woman. His world is nothing without a woman. All of his fortune and fame means nothing without a woman. This is a man's world, but without a woman. This is a man's world, hey, but it don't mean nothing without a woman. Nothing without W-O-M-A-N.
Say you love it, what you gon' do now? Hope you're ready, cause I'm really about to put it down. Girl, you know that I will never disrespect you. We love tomorrow, but tonight I wanna spend you. That ass count, gotta make it last down. Start off slow, then I'ma beat it up. Hate on me, but no. Try to say stop when the beat say go. There you go again, that voice is watch you make your girlfriend go. Come on, come on, come on. You've been waiting patiently, wondering when and where I be. After causing ruckus in the industry, making it so she can't sleep.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Man, all the conversations that's been going on around the YouTube streets. What's going on, y'all? So, I'm eating my dinner, which is my yogurt. Crazy. Crazy. What's up, Jams? What up, Faces? What up, Miss Lady T? Hey, Miss Shirley. A.L. Sterling, what's going on? Zay, what's up, bro? Miss Virgo Gray. Dream team on, huh? I want to say shout out to my morning crew. Y'all did what y'all was supposed to do this morning. Shout out to Alicia. Shout out to Miss Virgo Gray. They held it down in my absence. But then, when I heard about it, I got blocked. So, I know people wondering, like, Dana, what are you talking about now? What done happened now? Child. these people with these kumbaya flamboyant, I follow this one, I spy looking, scuba diving wearing, fake story people. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So, early this morning, the word was that myself and Levi are putting out false information on the bed bug. I don't know why she even tried it with that. Especially with me. Nobody false advertises the bed bug, okay? Nobody want to talk about it, okay? So, it's been some smoke on the YouTube streets all day. It's been some smoke on the YouTube streets all day. I'm really not understanding. I am going to talk about Dr. Rodgers' letter or her live. I definitely am going to talk about that. But I'm about to get something that came to me today. And this type of stuff, it makes me just look at it and be like, what? Because there's no place on YouTube, and I'm gonna be honest with you, there's no place on YouTube for people that just want to keep up drama. It's not. Ain't there? There's no need to keep up drama. There's no need to keep up drama. So I get it. People think because they want to grow their channel that's the way to do it. Well, this is your third channel. Your first channel, it didn't work. Your second channel, it didn't work. Excuse me. How many channels are you going to do? Before you get the hint that you just don't have what people have, and you're backing people who don't back you. That's the weird part about it all. On top of that, you have been in everybody's chat. Everybody. I'm surprised you're not even in Donald Trump's chat. Because you've been in everybody's chat. And I mean everybody. Come on. There we go. You've been in everybody's chat. And it's sad because what you're doing is not making sense. I'm going to erase that and I don't need that. What you're doing is not making sense. So, you want some clout. I'm going to give you some. I'm going to give you some. So, I'm going to go here. Casey McDaniel. You're spreading so many untruths, so many lies, right? It's to the point where you can call somebody their job, you can call somebody in their home, spreading the rhetoric that you're spreading. It really can cause somebody who's not thinking, who's not thorough, their life. this R. Kelly sector, or should I say R. Kelly alone, it don't come with normal people. It don't come with normal people. So the first thing you said was, if you want to rock with the demonic strategist channel Sharon Winbush, then don't come to my channel. I only can go one way, and that's righteous. 100. I do not support evildoers. I want you to pay attention to that part right there. I do not support evildoers. This how serious it's getting for me. Miss Virgo Gray, stay off my channel, bringing those demonic spirits. I will draw my sword of the spirit and cut you both ways. Time for God's people to come through this fight. You don't want to tempt me. You've been warned. Now, the reason why I said I'm going to do this right here, put that right there, because she say, I do not support evildoers, but she support the resident bedbug, a.k.a. Captain Caveman. This is what you call a reprobated mind. This lady, she do one thing and say the total opposite. And she said, oh no, I don't say nothing to nobody. I don't do that. Do anybody remember when she drugged Blockbender for 2 days talking about Blockbender sent her his dick pic? If we gonna go through it, we gonna go all the way through it. Do you remember when she went at Spit and Fire for no reason, because Spit and Fire supported Blockbender, and then when Spit and Fire threw the boomerang back at her tail, she got quiet. So now she's saying that Sharon is delusional. She said, no, I'm sorry. And she said, Sharon is evil, Levi is evil, and I'm the ringleader of evil. But she sits and support a dude that killed the baby. And their claim to fame is, God, Dana say God forgive people, so God couldn't forgive you, DJ. That was 25 years ago. Oh, I never said God didn't forgive anybody. But when God forgive you about something, and you don't try to make money off of what God forgave you for. So, she said that Miss Virgo Gray, she want people to stay off her channel. I see I'm going to have to go back to day one DanaJay. Back when we was going around shutting people pages down. There's only 3 of us that know how to do it over here. And one of them locked up. And the other 2, hey, you never know who it is. I'm going to just say the other 2. But if you've been following me, and you know who the shutdown kings are. So, I do believe with this crazy stuff that she's putting out here, with this post alone, I can really have fun with this post. I can instruct Sharon Winbush and Levi what to do with this post. And trust me, her page will be gone in 24 hours. But I have some questions. Around the time that Prima Donna was pregnant, it seemed like everybody wanted to be pregnant. So, my question is, Casey McDaniel, we never see your so-called husband around. We never hear whine. We never hear whisper. We never hear ma. We never hear you say, I'm going to make some bottles. We don't hear nothing about a baby. So the problem is,
You see something? Now you see now. You done fucked up, you know that, don't you? I see what I'm saying.
No, I thought
No, so, you know what I'm saying? You done fucked up now, you know that, don't you?
Yeah,
No, you done fucked up, don't you? You know it, don't you? No, you done fucked up.
So with that being said, it's okay to understand that you know you done messed up. And then you say Levi for Kelly is the stupidest gangster on YouTube. All he been doing since he been exposed of the stuff he been involved with Angelo Clary and Larry McGee is making threats to Tyson. And so Levi's the stupidest gangster on YouTube. But Big Bug is the smartest man ever. Like I said, the gig is up, devil. Levi, your heart not right. And neither are your hands clean. Wait a minute. Hold on. Casey McDaniel. Heck no. Like I said, the gig is up, devil. Levi, your heart not right. And neither are your hands clean. Why is this jumping out at me? Like it's trying to tell me something. Levi, your heart not right. And neither are your hands clean. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. The same people on your channel giving you props are the same ones going to take you down. You know real threat. You know real threat to anyone but yourself. You are on his channel, Casey McDaniel, but wait a minute. Hold on. Something ain't sitting right with me with this. And I'm going to get to the bottom of this real quick. Hold that thought, y'all. Something is not sitting right with me with this. No, not that one. Something is not sitting right with me with this. No, not that one. Let me look at something. Let me look at something. Let me look at something real quick. Y'all, to be honest, DJ hadn't said anything to Dana. Real talk, I haven't heard Dana say not once he was glad DJ exposed Angelo Clary. Look like he would be happy he has talked with Angelo, only apologizing for whatever, and turned around and claimed as a cousin. Now, that's what Dana did, because I saw whether people want to believe or not. Go back, he said Angelo was his cousin on Phases, the next level. I'm glad DJ got his behind, because Azriel said that in Gail King. Phases full of it, because she know that while her and Rodgers be behind Dana mess, because he took them to meet this man while this dark cloud over him. Rodgers full of mess. 2, she talk about injustice like she care in the same breath, trying to get people to believe in those women, when if they are genuine at this point, they need to sit down. You don't see Azriel and Joycelyn talking to anyone. At this point, Kels is 52. And if they don't have an agenda, then sit down. I'm real talk. If Rodgers want to try to help, try to talk with his kids. No one gives a damn whether they some kind or not damn Kel's 52 and really don't matter if they are or not. Kel's not giving a DNA test, and I wouldn't either. Everyone is a suspect, period. I'm 51, and Levi for Kelly is the stupidest gangster on YouTube. All he been doing since he been exposed of the stuff he been involved with Angelo, Clary, Larry McGee is making threats to Tyson. Like I said, the gig is up, devil. Levi, your heart not right, and neither. Hold that thought. I'm about to get to the bottom of this. We gonna do this right here. Just when I thought I couldn't find it. Let's move this over. Let's move this right here. Let's get that right there. Now let's see. Levi, your heart not right, and neither are your hands clean. Casey McDaniel, are you Jocelyn Smith? Because this not making sense. Casey McDaniel, are you Jocelyn Smith? See, I told you I'm about to run this stuff down. I'm about to really start breaking stuff down. Casey McDaniel, is your imposter name Jocelyn Smith? Because you claim you up in age. This person 2 years ago was 51. And you run with Dr. Rice. So I get it. Thank you so much, Ben. I told you, we critical thinkers over here. I believe Casey McDaniel is Jocelyn Smith until further notice. And if Jocelyn Smith come public and show me that she is not Casey McDaniel, then I'll give a public apology. Until then, I'm convinced. The words just sound too much alike. And when your words sound too much alike, 9 times out of 10, it's you. Casey is 55 now. Makes sense. Makes sense. This person, this was in 2000. This was in 2018. 19, 20, 21, 22. Here she was 51 years old. See? Period, because I'm 51. So 1 plus 4 is 5. Damn. There we go. Real quick. 55, so it fits the criteria. So Jocelyn Smith. Okay, cool. So Casey McDaniel. Now we got it. So now I understand your alliance to Bedbug. Well, that's fine, Miss Shirley. You're right to your own opinion. But like I said, too much right here in front of me. And since nobody never heard of Jocelyn Smith and Casey McDaniel and Jocelyn Smith talk just alike, to me, they the same person until further notice. So I get it. The whole crew. Dr. Rice, Casey McDaniel, Bedbug, the whole crew. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. Ron L, what's up, bro? I get it. I get it. So, with that being said, I have no other choice but to say, you're not doing nothing for the dream team by saying, oh no, don't come to your platform. We okay with that. We okay with that. Because when one is not accepted, none is accepted. And we okay with that. We okay with not being wrapped up in your psychotic web. We okay with that. We fine. No beef. We will respect your wishes and not come over there. It ain't bothering us. We still gonna do us, no matter what. So we realize that Casey McDaniel is a psychotic entity. I still haven't seen no baby. You know what I mean? I still haven't seen no baby, and I haven't seen no husband. So I'm going to start doing her and other folks the way it was done to me. Chris Terry, what's up, bro? Because when things was done to me, everybody was okay with it. So now I'm about to return the favor. You feel me? I'm about to return all favors. Let me put this up here. Wait a minute. I'm about to return all favors. And it's cool. It's cool. So let's talk about this Dr. Rodgers. Let's talk about this Dr. Rodgers video. A lot of y'all might not have heard it. If you have, well, let's do it this way. If you heard the video I'm talking about, put hell yeah in the chat. If you haven't, put hell no in the chat. Let's do it that way. If you haven't heard it, put hell yeah. If you didn't hear it, put hell no. That's how we're going to do it. That's how we're going to do it. Said no, no, no. Atmos said hell yeah. What's up, Atmos love? All right, so we're going to do it like this. We're going to do it like this. Okay.
This is what I love the most about memories.
She's not involved in this before anymore, but and they were like working hard, and I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't trust them. A lot of stuff I looked at, a lot of stuff I didn't look at because I just got tired of seeing a lot of stuff. But I didn't hear anything, or I didn't know anything, or I didn't know that there was any type of allegation that was supposed to be out there about a 12-year-old. I need y'all to understand. This is where Bob and Mandy bump heads. Even though the stuff was going on, even though
Bob is R. Kelly, Mandy is Dr. Rodgers.
So he was aware that some lies had been told and some stuff was going on that just wasn't supposed to be going on. He wanted me to continue working with this person. He talked to the person too. Y'all need to work this out. I need both of y'all here. Both of y'all bring something to the table. And I'm sitting here and I'm trying to explain, listen, I get what you're saying. I don't mind playing some type of role in all of this, but I'm not going to sit there and deal with somebody that blatantly disrespect me. And you've seen him disrespect me, and you want me to just keep. And that just didn't sit well with me. It was like it wasn't. Y'all just need to work it out. Y'all just need to work it out. I need both of y'all. Y'all need to work it out.
Can y'all hear real good?
One of the first things, I'm like, you know what? You know what? Like, it's some things that, yeah, I got you, but I ain't got you on that one. That's it. It is what it is. I don't have you on that one. So, that stuff went on, and y'all, it got to the point, and I won't go into all the details about stuff, but it got to the point where the concern about it.
Okay. Y'all saying it's low. Okay. Hold on.
Started leading to phone calls and people trying to, I'm going to just speak for me, I don't know what they did with him, trying to persuade me to be the bigger person and just go and try to work things out and do this stuff. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it because for me at the end, I did not see how it was going to help his situation when I knew that the background wasn't legal. And I'm like, we had people talking good talk, but he was dead set, like, y'all need to work this stuff out. So he had people calling and saying, talk to them and see if y'all can work. They called both of us. Talk to them and see if they can work this stuff out. They need to stop this. They don't need to be doing this. And I'm okay. The only thing was he wasn't really seeing what was going on outside of the little snippets that he was watching when he did decide to watch it on the big screen TV, when he did decide to watch what was going on. One of the issues and one of the things that I was already thinking, which I had already mentioned in the video, and I just want to say this before I go any further. There are a lot of people that when it comes to certain people, they don't mind believing everything that they hear. But when it comes to other people, if they like them in any kind of way, they don't want to hear that. It doesn't matter if whatever is being said is being thrown in their face and they're slapped with it. They don't want to hear it. So let's go up to the night that Bob was arrested. So I get a phone call about it, Mandy gets a phone call about Bob being arrested. And I'm like, nah, that's not true. So I'm talking to somebody close. We'll call him Bill, okay? We'll call him Bill. So we're sitting there talking about what's going on, and in the meantime, I get another phone call from somebody I used to, be cool with when this stuff first started, because he played an integral part in linking the sisters up with Bob. So he was there for that. He was definitely there for that part. But when I was talking to Will, that night that Bob was arrested, and we're just sitting here like,
so y'all know what Bill is, right?
What's going on? I get a phone call, and I don't answer the phone then because we like in some deep conversation just trying to figure some stuff out. And finally, I think I clicked over at one point, and that person told me, they were like, yeah, I just got off the phone with Bob. And I clicked back over the wheel, and I'm like, dude just told me he got off the phone with Bob. Are you sure this stuff is real that they showing on here? And that's when we kind of saw, okay, that wasn't true. That wasn't true.
Well, let me break that down. Because dude is later on, y'all gonna know as the actor, which is me. When the whole situation happened, Larry McGee hit me and said, yo, they about to arrest your boy. And I said, huh? He said, yeah, I just got the phone with a Tim Savage, and they about to arrest your boy. And what's up, Bob? What up, Sunshine? And what up, Willie? So I called Lexus because I knew Lexus was on our way there. And when I called Lex, and she was like, Rob's coming down the steps. I'm talking to him on the line. I was like, patch me in. So from that point, by the time she patched me in, I was like, you good? And he said, yeah. And he said, yeah, babe, I'm good. As soon as he said, I'm good, you heard cars pulling up. And I said, what's going on? Lexus said, I don't know. And then you heard Lexus break down and cry. I was like, you okay? What's wrong? And she said, they just grabbed Rob, and he just told me to call Greenberg. I'll call you back. From that point, I did call Dr. Rodgers. And I was like, I just got off the phone. But then when I said it, she was like, all right, hold on. And she clicked back over. So that's where that come from.
But from that point on, because I had already, like, I had addressed Bob about, not Bob.
No problem, bro.
Call him. We'll say the actor. I had addressed him about some things and some concerns that I had, and he was also one of the people pushing for me and the other doc, pushing us.
That's
to
true.
Try to make amends and
that's true,
and get over our stuff, because they all knew that he wanted us working together. But I'm like, that's just not an option at this point. What
I did mention to her, but I said, you know, Rob wants y'all working together, so I think y'all should just put it past y'all. Dr. Rodgers said, you know, I don't talk bad about people, but, you know, it's too much going on. And I left it at that.
Took me over the edge, and what really made me look at the situation different and back away. And I do remember last year, maybe the year before last, the person I'm calling the actor, because I don't want to disrespect him, and I'm trying not to call people's names like that, but he made a phone call to the person, to the other doc.
Dr. Rice.
And I can honestly say, and I know everybody got their beefs and all this stuff, and like, dude, he don't like me. I mean, it is, I ain't doing nothing to him, but he don't like me. But
let's stop there. I don't have a problem with Dr. Rodgers. I don't. I think it was too many people that infiltrated, that came in, and some got in her ear, some got in my ear. And I'll go on record and say that. And it created a war. So with that being said, DanaJay don't have a problem with Dr. Rodgers. I want to put that on record.
But I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to sit here and try to lie on anybody. He was genuinely distraught when he found out that stuff happened and that Bob actually got locked up that night. So what happened is he's calling me. I think he tried to call Will while we were still on the phone. And I think he ended up calling the other. Well, I don't think. He ended up calling the other doc. Now, this is the part where I don't want a lot of y'all on, because I don't remember if he called him with me on the phone or if he called him and recorded him. I cannot remember. But he called him. I don't know why people feel like this is where they can get their legal information from. And he was like, is this real? Can they do this? Like, they said that he, locked up. Can they really do this? And I'm going to look y'all dead in this camera, because I want y'all to understand where things changed for me. Whenever the...
Stop. Before you book another counseling session, try another therapist or hypnotist. Start...
The person asked him about it, and like I said, regardless of what you believe about him Dude was genuinely distraught about what was going on. And he asked the other person, and the response was, "You worried about that? You need to worry about that 12-year-old that he messed with." That was the response.
And that's when I separated myself from Dr. Rice. So, I never really talked about it because that's a sore for me. That's a trigger point for me. And that right there will really have me go on a Dr. Rice binge for like a year. Every time I think about it, I would get mad. So at that point, Sylvia, now y'all know that. Now you're going to understand why I zapped out the way I did. When Sylvia said, right after that, the arrest warrant came out. And immediately I said, that's Dr. Rice. Sylvia told me I was lying. Nuh-uh, Gucci said I was lying. So they called him, and he said, yeah, that's me. I immediately said, I ain't fucking with it. Don't put me on the phone with him. I'm not talking to him. Nothing. Sylvia came back and said, oh, I got the proof. Dr. Rice is innocent, y'all. I never mentioned the conversation that me and him had. And I had Dr. Rodgers on the phone because I was really trying to get them two back together. Dr. Rodgers told me don't ever call him with her on the phone again. So he's under the impression that Robert is a pedophile, that Robert slept with a 12-year-old. I don't know where he got the information from. He never told me. I never gave him a chance after that. I separated. So when Sylvia said, I got the recording, so I wouldn't cause no more trouble, because they said I'm a troublemaker, I said, I'm not doing it. And at that time, me and Nisimo was beefing. So they told me to come over to Sylvia page. I was live. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was live. I shut my live down. I went over there. Nisimo was praying. I said in the chat, oh, hell no. Y'all got me fucked up. Sylvia said, Dana, what? I said, y'all think I'm fake or I'm phony, don't y'all? Sylvia said, what? I said, you got her praying on your channel, and you talked about her, she talked about you, and this was going on. Really? I'm out. Sylvia, Gucci said, nah, man, this the Dr. Rice. I never mentioned to them the conversation. That's why I said what I said. I said, whenever I split from somebody, I have more than 3 reasons why. 2 of the 3 I will never discuss with you. Just the one that'll make me say, gone. So now y'all can put 2 and 2 together of why I said, I can't deal with Dr. Rice. I was willing to forgive what he said and did to me on his platform. So the connection, Gucci is tight with Dr. Rice. That's how Sylvia got in tight with Dr. Rice. But where I'm from, when your name come up in paper, you get the hell away from those people. You don't have phone call. You don't accept phone calls. You don't do none of that. I've heard people in Chicago say, yo, Dr. Rice in that paperwork. And I was defending them like, nah, man, whatever. But when it was shown, I looked at it, I said, this is my escape route. So I got out of there. At the same time I got out of there, Sylvia was like, oh, you don't respect nobody? Da, 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 da. Okay, I'll cut your ass off too. Nothing. And the last thing everybody said was, yo, how can you just walk away from people that you've been rocking with like it's nothing? And I tell them, when I program my mind that I'm out, when my body leaves, my mind has been gone at least two to 3 months already. So, that's one of the situations. And everybody was like, Dana, you need to call Dr. Rice. For what? And every chance after that, I went at Dr. Rice. So it didn't puzzle me when Greenberg came out and said, yeah, Robert married Aaliyah. And Greenberg and Dr. Rice was talking every day. I know where that story came. I know where the reconfirmation of the story came from. But I'm going to let y'all finish listening to Dr. Rodgers. And I'm going to plug in the situation so that way y'all know.
And from that point on, I said, he is not for this man. And I started seeing something a whole lot different. And that's when the videos started changing a little bit. And it wasn't so much because initially, you know, it was about fighting for him and proving that these people were lying and all this stuff. And then slowly there was a transition in the way that the videos.
And when she talked about the transition video was Robert's lawyers are incompetent. I can do better than all of them. If y'all remember that video, that's when I was like, yo, whoa, wait a minute. Then I went at Dr. Rice like, yo, are you just trying to get on a team, yada, 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 yada. But what puzzles me is that he talks to Greenberg, but he dogged Greenberg. So you can't take up for Greenberg now, and you dogged him all the way through the trial until he got off the case. Then when he got off the case, now all of a sudden, y'all talking. It didn't make sense, but let's finish.
Were coming out and the information in the videos were coming out. I started noticing something different. So I'm talking to the people, and I'm like, something's not right. Something's not right about that situation. Like something has changed. I don't know if somebody changed him, if his thoughts, if he had an epiphany moment. I don't know what happened, but something changed the way that he felt about the situation, or he could have felt that way the whole time. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But in this particular situation, the actor, and if you listening to actor, I'm not trying to disrespect you by calling you that. I just don't want to have your name in here and have people going saying I said A, B, and C. But I'm going to speak the truth on this one, because the truth, it doesn't matter who people like or dislike. The truth is the truth. So whenever the guy said he doesn't need to be worried about that, he needs to be worried about the 12-year-old that he messed with, dude was in total shock. Didn't know what to say, mouth dropped. Only thing that came out his mouth was, huh? And he started stuttering a little bit because it caught him completely off guard. Like, what did you just say? What did you just say? And where did that come from? I'm trying to reach out to you to find out if what these people doing, like if they can really do this to him, and this is the response that you give. And he stood in that response. Like, that's what he need to be figuring out. He need to be worried about messing with this 12-year-old that he messed with. Now, the thing was, at that particular time, and I don't know about anybody else, because a lot of stuff I looked at, a lot of stuff I didn't look at because I just got tired of seeing a lot of stuff, but I didn't hear anything, or I didn't know anything, or I didn't know that there was any type of allegation that was supposed to be out there about a 12-year-old. And it seemed like he was talking about something that could have been recent. But it came from out of nowhere. It came from out of left field. And it's like,
Okay, this is going to sound a little nuts, but the fastest and easiest way to make passive online income on Amazon.
So when I'm talking to people, I'm like,
Hold on.
at this point.
Hold on. Let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. Hold on. Because I'm tired of holding the phone. Let's do it this way. And once again, this is Dr. Rodgers' commentary. I am just using it, just borrowing it for a second. There's a lot of stuff in here that people should know, that people don't know.
Essentially, there are 3 types of people that watch my content on YouTube. The first...
Okay. That's loud. Hold on.
Slowly there was a transition in the way that the videos were coming out and the information in the videos were coming out. I started noticing something different. So I'm talking to the people and I'm like, something's not right. Something's not right about that situation. Like something has changed. I don't know if somebody changed him, if his thoughts, if he like had an epiphany moment. I don't know what happened, but something changed the way that he felt about the situation, or he could have felt that way the whole time. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But in this particular situation, the actor, and if you listening to actor, I'm not trying to disrespect you by calling you that. I just don't want to have your name in here and have people going saying I said A, B, and C. But I'm going to speak the truth on this one, because the truth, it doesn't matter who people like or dislike. The truth is the truth. So whenever the guy said he doesn't need to be worried about that, he needs to be worried about the 12-year-old that he messed with, dude was in total shock. Didn't know what to say, mouth dropped. Only thing that came out his mouth was, huh? And he started stuttering a little bit because it caught him completely off guard. Like, what did you just say? What did you just say? And where did that come from? I'm trying to reach out to you to find out if what these people doing, like if they can really do this to him, and this is the response that you give. And he stood in that response. Like, that's what he need to be figuring out. He need to be worried about messing with his 12-year-old, with this 12-year-old that he messed with. Now, the thing was, at that particular time, and I don't know about anybody else, because a lot of stuff I looked at, a lot of stuff I didn't look at because I just got tired of seeing a lot of stuff, but I didn't hear anything, or I didn't know anything, or I didn't know that there was any type of allegation that was supposed to be out there about a 12-year-old. And it seemed like he was talking about something that could have been recent. But it was so, it came from out of nowhere. It came from out of left field. And it's like, so when I'm talking to people, I'm like, at this point, just listen. And I literally started noticing how things started changing. And I take it back a little bit further because they changed a little bit before that. But when it came to somebody saying he need to worry about him doing da-da-da-da-da, like that, I was like, wow, that's what, like, you really think that? That's what you think? Because if that's what you think, then what are you doing all this for? What is all this stuff for? And the thing that bothered me, and some others, y'all just weren't made aware of it. But the thing that bothered me was that was something that was said pretty much behind the scenes, but then the person was getting on the camera and they portrayed a completely different role. They portrayed a completely different perspective about what they had on things. They were not being realistic with the people that were watching, the people that they were talking to, their own audience. They were not being realistic about how they really felt. Those are facts. Those are facts. And I'm telling you that all this stuff was literally taking place the night that Bob was arrested. And people are trying to figure stuff out and figure out what's going on. So a lot of back and forth and phone calls and what should be done about this and what should be done about that, and it was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. But from that point on, once videos started coming on, the context of those videos started changing. And it wasn't so much about, let me show you how innocent this person is. The stuff kind of, I don't know what word to put on it. It was, it was different. There was just a change. There was a change in how the stuff was being put out there. At this point, I said something, but I wasn't going to go into too much detail, because when I try to say something before, like I said, people are going to believe what they want to believe. And when you have somebody that's a smooth talker, and like he said, he specializes in shaping a story, and that's a back and forth that we had at some point, because my thing is, if you believe in this, or you believe that this happened, or you believe that this didn't happen, then there's no need to shape a story, because the truth stands the way that it is. You don't have to shape it. If it's the truth, it stands on its own. It stands on its own. So that was one of the things that was going on. So in the midst of this, and then you had people trying to discredit other people because
us to watch besides you guys.
Started seeing some truth in some stuff that was going on, and that didn't fit the script that other people had going on. And here's the thing about Mandy. From the time I met Bob, anything, like, I got respected because of my point of view, even with the sisters, even with some of his family members, because I've had conversations. I've had several conversations with members of his family too. I'm not talking about the sisters. I'm talking about members of his mother's family. So it was, I was going to always be straight up. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm not going to tell you something to try to down you, or try to discourage you. But I want you to know the truth, and I want you to understand what the situation is, and how this stuff is looking, and how far this stuff could possibly go. But for him and the people around him, I don't think at any point they thought it was going to go to this extent. But when I see, you know, videos being done, and you know that what you're saying, you don't believe it. You like really don't believe it. And that's why I made it a point to not get into I'm not going to say that I'm involved in anything before it got to a federal level. I had some involvement. But my involvement wasn't, it didn't have anything to do with all the extra stuff. It was literally trying to mend a broken situation. That's what it was. But in the process, it was, okay, he's saying, literally, he's saying, I got 2 doctors now. You know, I got 2 people that can help me. One person can, you know, deal with this. One person can deal with that. But still, at the end of the day, I'm like, we are not the same. We are not cut from the same cloth, because I'm not going to come out here and try to spin you and tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. And if it hurts your feelings and you get upset with me, then it is what it is. But it's all in love. It's all in good faith. And that's how I've always been, even with the sisters.
problem,
I've
bro.
said a lot of stuff to them that they did not like. They will tell you. We done had some we done had
Hey,
some
Steph.
blowouts. But still, at the end of the day, everything is done in good faith. And I felt like stuff needed to stay that way because there were a lot of people that were coming around that would just be bobbleheads and would just tell him the stuff that they felt that he needed to hear instead of talking to him about stuff that he needed to hear, not stuff that he wanted to hear. Like the decision making that people got upset with me about before when I said that, you know, he needed to work on his decision making. There was a reason I said that. And this is what I was trying to get people to understand from the beginning and even to this day. A lot of people are talking about stuff and they think that they know certain things and they're like coming after people. And a lot of people are coming after the wrong people. Like you got the story all messed up. But it's because of the way that people on social media put it out there and people believe whatever other people said. When you had the truth that was sitting right there, like you were getting a first-hand seat, you were getting first-hand information on what was going on, but it wasn't being presented in a manner that people wanted to hear because it didn't have all the drama and the cursing and all that extra curricular stuff that came along with it, so people weren't trying to hear it. And because there was a bit of reality that was mixed into it. So when I say I want to make sure that I'm telling the truth, being honest about some things, this is not, she a whore, wow. This is not anybody telling on anybody. So I don't know where you get that from. I'm being straight up on everybody all the way around. So I want to clear something up because I know that there was a lot of people saying that the actor, they said that that he didn't know him. That's not true. That's not true. Even though I don't fool with him, even though he does not fool with me, he absolutely knows him. This was something that we witnessed on our own. He absolutely, positively knows him. I don't know what their relationship is. I don't know how long they've had any type of relationship, but he knows him. He knows him. And I can tell you that he knew him enough that he was up at his place, not when they were doing the meet and greet, but he was up at his place for some other stuff and he allowed him to stay around for some intimate stuff. So I would be lying to y'all if I said that he didn't know him. I don't even know what that means. I don't know what that means. That was one of the things. And his people, they know him. They know him. One of the first conversations when the stuff started kicking off with the family stuff and all that, he was invested in that. That's why we tried to, whenever somebody else came along and they were like, oh, well, they didn't even acknowledge him. That was a lie. That was a lie that somebody put out there to get something started. Because if you ever went back and looked at any of the videos that were put out there, he was acknowledged. He was definitely acknowledged for playing a part in the situation that took place. He decided to go in a different direction. Whenever, I guess, things went left for him, he decided to go in a different direction. But as far as knowing him, and I think that's probably what hurt him, that he was a part of the situation from the beginning and helping to, you know, get stuff kicked off. And I can tell you, he's cool with the crew. And I'm not going to call all their names because I had already called one of their names, but this is something that we witnessed. It's not something that I'm talking about behind anybody else. And that's why I was saying the other night, if I say something, I don't talk behind people. I talk about the stuff that I know. I talk about the stuff that I've seen for myself. So I wouldn't sit here and say that he doesn't know him. The only thing I would say is I don't know the extent. I don't know the extent of, you know, what their relationship is. But I saw their interactions. And he definitely knew him. He was even clowning him on some things. So he definitely knew him. No, I didn't. Natasha Harris, you will not come on my page and lie on me, sweetie. You will never come on my page. And the person that I'm talking about will tell you that I have never said that he didn't know him. As a matter of fact, I told y'all when we first met up, he was there. He was a part of it. So I can't possibly come and say that he didn't know him. So you might have your channels mixed up, or the people that you're talking about on your channels. Because initially, before everything went south, we were all cool. We were all cool. So I would never take that away from him and say that he didn't know him. So if you have followed my channel, then you know that that is something that I have always acknowledged. If I didn't, I would be lying. So that part went, and he was even one of the ones that was helping to try to get me and the other doc back on good terms. And it was, like, no, it was a no-go. I could not do it. I couldn't do it. As a matter of fact, I got a phone call from him, and Shantae, she's not involved in this before anymore, but and they were like working hard, and I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't trust him. He got too much going on for me. Like, I done caught him in some lies. I couldn't deal with it. So what we have now, and me, what I'm saying has nothing to do with what other people have going on right now. But because I said something the other night, I want to make sure that I'm even more clear, because I understand. Y'all might not understand, because the names I'm seeing in my chat that are making these comments, I've never seen your name in my chat before, so I guess you don't know the history of it all. He is very trusting. And he seems to be trusting of the wrong people. And I don't take that back. I stand on that. He seems to be trusting of the wrong people. And that's another thing that I want to touch on, because I heard a lot of people talking about the people. Now, I don't know all the people that are that he deals with or whatever, but the people that are in his immediate circle, don't let nobody lie to you. They ride for him. Heavy. They ride for him. They protect him like the Secret Service. Yep. So how, this other stuff was able to get in and like kind of penetrate the little system that they had going on, I have no idea. But they ride for him.
Good question, Ben.
They really do. So that was another thing, and I'm trying to figure out how me being honest is telling on anybody, but that's usually what happens when people start, you tell the truth about something. And this isn't something that I haven't said before. I'm just saying it again. So, but yeah, that trusting factor, to this day, he puts his trust in the wrong people. And just trying to get somebody to, like, trying to help him understand, like, he still has, when it comes to thinking and choosing who he's going to deal with, like, he still has that street mentality. And you got to remember, and it's been said, like, you got to remember, these streets ain't loyal. Yeah, people are going to smile and people are going to do things, but at the end of the day, a lot of the people that have come around that said that they were trying to help, they were really looking for a check. And a lot of them may have come with genuine intent from the beginning. I said that. But it's like the attention that they got from it all, or the opportunity
what up, J-Rock?
Of attention. It's not a why now. It's not a why now. I don't know where all these new people coming from. Go back and check my videos. It's not why now. I've been saying this for 2 years. I've been saying this for 2 whole years. Go check the videos.
What up, Jake?
The problem was whenever I said something, then we had this big to-do, just like the other night when I said something and somebody, oh, well, if we got to believe that. Well, here's my thing. I find it kind of funny that people believe everything else. People believe everything else. Once his case hit a different level, Miss Natasha, because of what I do, I had to step back from that part of it. I had to step back from that. But what I'm right, Tracy, what I'm saying today, I have always said, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed at all. And I don't have, even after all the stuff that has been done, and I'm trying to figure out, and I would love for you to tell me which one or who y'all think I'm coming after in this whole thing, because this is the reality of the situation. This is the reality of the situation that happened. And it was a lot of things that it wasn't jiving. It just wasn't jiving. And for me and the people that have followed me since I started, you know, if I sense something, I don't fool with you. If it don't feel right in my spirit, I don't fool with you. And that was something that I said even when I met him. When I met him, the first thing when I came back, and I did it with his permission, I didn't just come out and say stuff, because that was the next thing people were saying, well, you coming out saying such and such. I didn't just come out all willy-nilly and just say, oh, well, let me go and put this out here. And the fact of the matter is, a lot of information could have been put out. I chose not to put it out. We had enough stuff floating around, and I'm just a firm believer that everything doesn't need to be said. Because people are going to take the information, they're going to spin it, and they're going to do whatever they want to do with it. And the sad part is, people were saying that he needed to speak for himself. And when he did try to come and speak for himself, even though it was through other people, people had a problem with that. So it's a no-win situation in the whole thing, because nobody's going to, like, if it's not coming from the people that you want it to come from, then you're not going to believe it. And then you have the other people that know that what you may be saying is true, but they don't want people listening to you because they don't like the fact that they feel like you got some type of relationship or some type of association with people, and they don't want people to listen to what you have to say. But there are a few things that people that were paying attention when we were having these conversations, even down to attorneys that, you know, we had dealings with and we were talking with and working on stuff with. You had people saying that those attorneys didn't exist. I don't know if any of y'all remember that. We had people saying, oh, we talked to this person, even showed some stuff that they gave us, but like, here, put this out and see if this will stop all this stuff. And people turned around and said, that person doesn't exist. They're not real. But then later on, you find out, now somebody's mad because we wouldn't introduce them to the people. Now you hear other people talking, and you hear them talking about the same attorneys that I mentioned 10 years ago that people were trying to say didn't exist. And the goal was, from the beginning, to try to humanize him. That's what the goal was. It wasn't to come out here. My goal, I'm not going to speak on anybody else's goal, was to try to humanize him, because I realized that as long as you had people going around acting like this man was a god and calling him a god, treating him as such, that was not going to help him when it came to a jury. That's the conversation that we always had. That's the conversation I had on this channel, because I have been in this system for a long time. I have been in the courtroom for half of my career. I'm telling you, that jury has to be able to identify with whoever is on that stand. And if they can't see you as a regular human, if they can't see you as an average person, if they're not able to look at your situation and put themselves in your shoes, then it's going to be hard for you to win their case. And that's exactly what happened with the situation with Tasha K. She talked so much and did all this stuff that even if she had an inch of right in her when it came to that jury, they weren't going to be able to see it, because all the other stuff overrode, like it completely just overrode everything that could have possibly come out that would have helped her. So the same situation when you come and you try to humanize, and I said this over and over again, like you have to see him. And y'all, you had a special request from Bob yourself telling people, I am a man. He said, I need y'all to see me as a man. I'm a human like everybody else. I mean, it was put out there, but people refuse because people going to do what people want to do. And whenever you have somebody coming trying to redirect, why are you asking me all these questions from the beginning? Unfit parent, you might be new to this, so let me explain to you what happened from the beginning. I was pulled into this. We're not going to get into all this back and forth because what I'm not going to let you do is come on here and bash them because he ain't letting nobody bash him. So ain't nobody going to come on my channel and bash him. That's why I was brought into it from the beginning by the other person, the other doctor. He asked me to come in. He asked me to come in and help with the family dynamics. That's why I came in. I had no dog in this fight. I had no dog, no ponies, no cats, no frogs. I wasn't even familiar with everything that was going on. I was personally asked to come in because he found out what my background was. And he came in and asked me if I would help them with this stuff that was going on with this family dynamic. Now, even though all that stuff has changed and you know, he had this little, I won't even get into all that. The thing was, and I'm saying, Bob personally asked me to look out for his sisters. Those were the words that came out of his mouth. Not over the phone, not over a text message, but in person. He thanked me for bringing them to him. They gave him information and access to stuff, and the minute he saw it, he knew what was up. So this is what I'm saying. It's like, and the stuff that was pertaining to a lot of that, yeah, I didn't take it all the way down. A lot of this stuff is private because I backed away from it because I said I'm not going to be sitting here going back and forth fussing with people about stuff that they really don't know anything about. And I say that because you weren't there when these things were taking place. You weren't there when he was sitting there crying with them. The minute he saw the picture of that dad, he started crying. Nobody, the actor was there. His other crew, they were there. And I'm going to tell you how messy people are and how just downright ignorant some people can be. Because when it's stuff...
I see some of your comments, and you know, I got to tell the truth. Where is that? Dr. Rice pulled Dr. Rodgers and Vi. Who introduced Robert to the sister first? I did. I was the first one. Dr. Rodgers called me and sent me the picture of their dad and or allegedly their dad. And I took it to Rob first, and then I made sure that they all made connections. At that time that she talking about is right after his second court date in Chicago when Phases and all them was up there. That's when the infamous picture, and you see why I didn't even entertain Honey when she was lying and stuff, because now you're seeing it for yourself. And you hearing it for yourself.
Was going down on that particular day, because that day, that was the first day they met. There was like some back and forth. This was the first day that they met. And come back, okay, you know, tell the story, let people, and he gave us a whole breakdown of stuff he had going on. And this was the thing, the one thing that he said that stuck with me. He said, I'm not a saint. Am I a freak? Yes, I'm a freak. He said, but they made me that way. When they brought me in the business, that's the way that they portrayed me to the public. That's the persona that I had to keep up in the business. That stuck with me.
True.
That definitely stuck with me.
True.
But while he was having this little emotional moment and broke down or whatever, this was my opportunity, because I'm telling you, I'm going to always be real with you. And that's why I can say, regardless of whether or not somebody likes me or not one person can come on, well, they can do whatever they want to do. But nobody can come on here and say I ever lied. Ever. Because I can back up everything that I said. And what I said to him, because I understood what was going on in this particular situation, I understood the assignment. And this is what I told him. I'm telling you the same story that I told right after it happened. I said to him, this is where the ignorance came in at, because he was crying so hard and he was shaking when he was crying. And I touched his arm and I said, Lord, this joker need a hug. I said, can I hug you? And he just sitting there with his little shades on, trying to hide his little tears. I said, can I hug you? And he just finally, you saw his shoulders just slouch down. And I hugged him. And I told him, I said, you got some things that God wants you to do. This is exactly what I told him. And I said, until you do the things that he wants you to do, you're going to have a hard time. You got a long road ahead of you. You got to do what he is asking you to do. And he looked up at me and he started crying even more. And he said, I know. I know. He wiping. I know. So that was confirmation to me that the stuff that I was feeling in my gut, the stuff that was coming to me through my discernment, that he knew exactly what it was. We didn't go into any detail about what it was, but he knew what it was. He knew. And again, this was something that the actor, he didn't get to hear the whole conversations, but he was there. He was there. So again, that's why I say I will not say that he don't know him. Because he was all up in the little area where he stayed at. So I will not come out here and say that he doesn't know him. I will not put that on him. He might have did some things and told some tales, but that one he did not. And as far as I know, the people clown about the jacket and the t-shirt and stuff, he clowned him on that in front of us. So that was a true story. He got on him about what he wore. He said, you're not going to be rolling with me and you weren't. You're not going to be rolling with me and you wearing some it like that. Nah. I mean, that's truly what it was. I can't tell you what I can do now. I can't tell you what I can do now. Just know that the thing for him right now that can help him the most is prayer. It's good that he got the support from all of these people. But for me personally, I feel like, and this is another thing that people are not going to agree with. When it comes to certain systems, people hear one person say something, like a blogger say something, they're going to run with it. And they'll say, well, this person's bad. This attorney was bad. That attorney was bad. Like all this stuff. When you really don't know the dynamics of the whole story. You really don't know the dynamics. There are certain things that had to take place. There are certain things that they weren't going to come out. Some things were bound to happen. Some people were bound to leave. It wasn't for other people to understand. They understood what was going on. They understood the assignment. So it was going to be other people that ended up coming into play. And if you look at it with a broad perspective and not the perspective of all these people on YouTube trying to tell you how bad this person is and how bad that person is, that's why I would never go and say anything bad about his attorneys, because when you know, you know. Each attorney set the tone for the next person to come in. The stage was set here for somebody to come and pick up the ball and do what they had to do. The stage was set here to pick up the ball to do what they had to do. Because what a lot of people were not getting, what they were not getting is, yeah, this case may look simple or may have looked simple to people on the outside. There was nothing simple about this case. Nothing. And I do know that for most of them, it's probably the hardest thing that they ever try to come up against, because there are a lot of layers to this thing. A lot of layers. And contrary to what people think on the outside, you don't know everything that's going on. I don't know everything that's going on. But you don't know everything that's going on, and it's not as clear cut as people want you to think it is, to say, oh, this person didn't do this. They didn't do anything. Yes, they did. Because they didn't move the way that you thought they should move, then you don't think that they're doing anything. Because they're not getting, you know, he's not free, so they didn't do anything. The type of charges that he had, he was not going to just come out. They were not just going to let him out. It doesn't matter who his lawyer was. The only person that could have came and got him out was God. But you have to look at the situation realistically to understand that. And people weren't looking at it, and to this day are still not looking at it realistically. And that's why when the word came down about this new person coming on, that's why I was begging people to leave her alone. The minute that it was confirmed, I literally came on here and asked people to leave her alone and let her do her job. Don't sit there trying to text her. Don't sit there sending her emails. Don't sit there trying to write her letters, trying to get her to do stuff. Leave her alone and let her do her job. She's good at what she does. She doesn't need all that extra stuff. That's what made the stuff look so funny already, because there was too much intermingling with social media people and bloggers and all this stuff. So it almost made some of the stuff like a joke. And people didn't take it seriously. And to this day, I hate to say it, some of the people that are fighting, they're still not taking it seriously. They don't understand how deep this stuff goes. It's more. It's so much more than people saying. I'm sorry. Y'all have always heard me say you're not going to hear me talk trash about a lawyer. They took that time, put that time in to go to law school, just like I put the time in to be a darn professional or to be the expert of what I'm the expert in. They took the time to go to law school and do certain things, and other people did not take the time to do that. So what you're going off of is some Google law. And when you go off Google law, it's going to lead you wrong every time, and you're not going to understand what's going on if you take the time to try to really look at this stuff yourself and don't go off what bloggers and stuff are telling you is going on. You go read it yourself. Go read the case laws. Go read the statutes. Go read everything that goes along with it, and you can really understand why some of the things were happening the way they were happening. You will understand why they didn't let him out. It didn't matter who his lawyer was. You would understand that. And this situation is just better for a lot of people because it gives them a story to talk about. So if we put this stuff out here, we put that stuff out there. And it was even like, even people saying, oh, this person fired. Oh, this person. No, they weren't. No, they weren't. That's something that some bloggers put out there and everybody went with it. Did not have one piece of information to back it up. That's some stuff that some bloggers put out there. And everybody ran with it like bloggers don't lie. And y'all know better because we see it every day. There's also some things that people have to... That's already been taken care of. That's why nothing else has happened. That's been taken care of. That's been taken care of. And let me see, even with him, I don't, me, myself personally, like I said, he may have an issue with me. I don't have an issue with him. No, I did not like him posting my family on that screen. Bump the threat because I can hold my own. But my thing was my family being posted up on that screen. But I also knew that it wasn't just coming from him. And that's the thing. Even though he put it out, it shed light on some other stuff too. So if I got to be upset with him, then I got to be upset with everybody that was involved in that. So I had my moment that night, and I went and did what I had to do legally to make sure that if anything else transpired, that I was good on my end. But luckily, things settled after that. Sean, thank you so much. Things settled after that, so that wasn't a problem. So there was no need for me to go around and just continue carrying a beef with him or with other people that were involved. Because I got to go about my business. It was just a sensitive spot at the time because my brother had just passed. So it was going to be extra sensitive. As far as the threatening part, I mean, that part was, it was reported. It was taken care of. But my thing was, I've been threatened several times. The people I work around are far more dangerous than somebody I'm dealing with on YouTube. So I wasn't worried. I definitely wasn't worried about something so much happening to me. I just have to make sure my people are taken care of. That's all that was about. But me having to go and explain to my folks or some higher ups about me like getting into it and having to get certain stuff done because I was arguing with another blogger, that's just not a good look. And I even had people that got upset with me about that. No, you need to do this to him. You need to do that to him. You do it to him. Because ultimately, I'm not trying to destroy anybody. All I need you to do is back off and go on about your business and let me go about mine. I'm not in here to try to destroy anybody. You're going to have to deal with your own demons behind that. So that's where I fell at. And once he left it alone, I didn't have anything else to say about it. But that's just me. You know, they say I'm weird, so that's just me. I don't want to get it. See, that's another thing. I'm one of those, I'm not going to say who his cousin is or who his cousin isn't because I honestly don't know. Now, you got folks that come out and say something, little messages that were sent back or whatever, but if I'm going to be honest, and I even spoke with family members, it's not far-fetched. He could possibly be his cousin.
Why is they asking the wrong questions?
And that's just being honest. I mean, you don't know what families got going on. And their family had a lot of stuff going on. So there's no telling. There's no telling. What I will say is that I wish that they would tone stuff down. And I mean, if that were my family member, I'd be keeping things low key and praying. And if I wasn't putting stuff out there that was positive, then I wouldn't be saying anything at all. Because ultimately, to me, if you're saying that you're a family member, especially a close family member, and this is no dig at him, but if you're saying that you're a close family member, then you know that for the people that are on the outside, they're looking at you and your behavior, even though he has nothing to do with it, it's like a reflection of him. So they see you doing stuff and they automatically assume, oh, well, he must be like that too. And that's why I was saying, like, people coming out saying that they support him or that they're standing up for him or that they're speaking for him. Well, if you're speaking for him and you coming out talking crazy and doing all this crazy stuff, then what does that make people think about him? Is it fair? Absolutely not. But it's reality. If you're saying that you're a representative of him, or you're going saying that he has you doing stuff, and I spoke on this before, if you're saying that he's telling you to do these things, he got you doing this, he got you doing that, then are we saying that he is running some type of enterprise even while he's incarcerated? Do y'all see what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of things. I know a lot of people did stuff out of anger. They felt like they had to still feel like they have to have a clap back, like they got to do all this stuff. But at the end of the day, this is what I kept asking. who are you doing it for? Are you doing it for him or are you doing it for yourself? Because if you're doing it for him, then you will realize that what you're doing is not helping him.
Facts, Black Honeybee.
It's not helping. When somebody is in this situation and everybody's writing them all these negative stories, trying to tell him who's doing this and who's doing that and why are you doing this, and when you in that situation, you already dealing with the fact that you in there, and for him, he don't know what his livelihood is at this point. So and that's something again that people don't see, because you're saying that you support somebody, but you're really thinking about self. Because if you were really trying to support him and it wasn't about self, then you wouldn't be putting all that extra stuff in there. You go and you see how people doing, you wish them well, you let them know that you're praying for them, and then you go about your business. You don't bring all that negative stuff to them when they surrounded by negativity 24/7. They're sitting there thinking about their fate 24/7. Are they going to get out of this situation? Are they ever going to make it home? Will they have a relationship with their kids again? Will they be able to rebuild that relationship? Are they going to be able to, go and do what they love doing again? And he's big, on his fans. Like, what do his fans really think about him? If he get out, are they going to rock with him? Are they going to listen to him? And I'm like, music should be the last thing on your mind right now. But still, like, you got all these questions that people have, because when you're in that situation, you don't have anything but time. You got time to think, and that's what you're doing all day. So when people keep bringing that negative stuff and like throwing it at people, number one, you're not thinking about, you're not thinking about how they're taking that stuff in and how it may be affecting them. And I'm not talking just about him. I'm talking about people in general. If they are incarcerated, when you're bringing that negative stuff to them, you are not helping. You are absolutely not helping. What you're doing is giving them some more stuff to worry about when they already got stuff to worry about. So that's one part of this that I never understood. I never understood that. I never understood why people felt the need to be contacting their attorneys about everything. I never felt that. I don't even know why the attorneys allow themselves to get pulled into that. Now, that's a slip up on their part. And I know that he wants them to still try to appease his, his people and try to, make them feel like there's still a connection there. But at the end of the day, this is about your livelihood at this point. It's not about whether or not your supporters still love you or your fans still love you. This is about you fighting for your life and your livelihood at this point. That other stuff can sit there and wait. People talking about the personal stuff that people may have taken. And I've had this conversation with folks. What happened to masters and all this stuff? Let me tell you something. If you're locked up and you got all this stuff going on and you got more cases coming up, masters should be the least of your worries. So when people are sending stuff to him and everybody's talking about that, I'm like, can we not put that same energy into praying? Because getting some masters is not going to get him out. So my thing was to try to come on, or is to try to come on to be the voice of reason. But as far as getting into all the extra stuff, I'm not, and I can't get into it. This is the first time I actually sat down and had a conversation, but it's still not the conversation that people want, because we just on here talking about Bob, right? I love talking about Bob and John. I love talking about them. And people usually get it. They usually get it. But I'm hoping that this like reaches somebody somewhere. You're going to have the people, what she want people to do. You do what you want to do. You do what you want to do. I could just say for me, I wouldn't want anybody supporting me when the work that they're doing is counterproductive to what I already have going on. It's like, yeah, thank you, but stop. I appreciate what you're trying to do, but stop. Y'all get what I'm saying? Like somebody really trying to go hard for you, but they don't realize that they're making the situation worse. Like, can you stop? Only his situation is he can't come out and tell people that. And the people that he do tell that, they go and do the exact opposite. He tell people to fall back, they go and do the exact opposite. So it's like, again, at the end of the day, it's like a darn if you do, darn if you don't situation. And I know that probably one of the scariest things for Bob right now is that, okay, we already had this up with these other attorneys, which make no mistake, they are still around. They are still there, contrary to what people may say. But we done had this stuff going on with all these other attorneys. And now, I know he's sitting up there praying that nobody making contact with the new one. But it's too late because they have. People are trying to reach out. People want a story. And I get it. I get wanting the story, but you can do a story in another way. And the thing is going back to the basics and really trying to get people to understand that he's human. But his supporters have to understand that first. Because I see conversations from people and they really do, not everybody, but they really do idolize him like he is a god. You know who John is. John and Bob, that's the same person. That's the same person. But, and I think it's, I don't know. I don't know. I try not to put like my spiritual beliefs into a lot of stuff. But when I started talking about this stuff from the beginning and talking to him on Gospel Glam, she's doing good. Thank you for asking. And even started talking to him. I told him this was a spiritual battle. That's exactly what it was. And he agreed. And that's what I'm saying to a lot of people. You can fight, you can fight, you can fight. And a lot of people don't believe in spiritual battles. They don't think that kind of stuff goes on. But let me tell you something. It's one thing if you don't know him. And I'm talking about him. It's one thing if you don't know him. But when you know him and you decide to go and do what you want to do and like ignore what you've been told to do, what you have been instructed to do, then you're going to have a couple battles on your hands. So that's how I knew that when we had that conversation that he knew exactly what I was talking about. And he concurred. So that's why I say if you don't pray, get somebody else to pray. Get somebody else to pray if that's not your thing. But just the extra stuff and I'm joking about the man living in the land. I'm supposed to be large famous. It's a block, Satan challenge. Even if given permission to punish the man. Oh, we talking about Job up here. Job returned and cursed to God. God always sends Satan to torment Job to test his bold claim. But he forbids Satan to take Job's life in the process. Okay. Okay, perspective. You better talk that talk. You better talk that talk. That's the thing. And I would love to go back and put those videos back up, and if I could find a way to right if I could find a way to put them back up there, like strategically, well, not put them back up there, but just undo them so that they can't be seen. But I really just didn't want to get involved with the drama. Just didn't want to get involved with the drama. Just like the person that's coming in the chat now, you won't get a rise out of me, child. So do whatever you need to do on that, because when it comes to these things, I know what I know. That's why I'm not going to argue or go back and forth with anybody on anything that I know. And I'm not going to sit there and try to prove anything to anybody on stuff that I know. Because you don't have to. You don't have to. You won't have to sit on here and do all this back and forth and show these receipts and those receipts over there. And you don't have to. You're right. I don't know anything. I don't. I agree with you on that. I know absolutely nothing. I don't. I agree. I agree 100%. I agree. I'm just a little person coming on here just running my mouth, child. I'm just running my mouth. I'm just on here running my mouth. But that's basically what's going on with a lot of the stuff. There was a lot of deception. Like I said, I addressed some of the deception before. And I could do that because of the type of position I was in at that time. I was actually out of work on workers' comp because I got injured at work. So I could speak a little bit more on certain things. But there was, and there continues to be, but I'm not so like entangled in it right now that I really know what's going on with a lot of people. But there was a lot of deception that was going on. And ultimately, I mean, you guys said, I'm not telling you anything that you don't know. People were finding a way to profit off of it. And honestly, that's why I took most of the videos down, because I had those videos and yeah, they were in the thousands. They were like producing, but I didn't want to feel like I was making money off of them. So the first thing I did was I had to demonetize them. But even when you demonetize them, you can still make money off of them. So what I did was I just went ahead and made them private. And that was just my thing. That's just a personal decision that I made. I don't knock anybody else that's, you know, making money off whatever. But my only thing is, if that's what you're doing, be honest about it. Don't just be honest with yourself about it. Be honest with your folks and be honest with yourself about what's really going on. And just ultimately remember that while people are laughing and joking and you know, talking about each other's mamas, and we got people calling people fat over here and ugly over here, and like got so much stuff to say, like, just remember whose name you putting on top of your stuff, saying that you fighting for this person, and then you participating in these types of behaviors. That was one thing I never understood in all my years of trying to figure people out and observing people. This particular network of people, like it was different. It was different. And I don't, it's just different. It's really different. We were always taught that, you know, the power of prayer. Sheesh. That's all I'm going to say. So you want to know how I'm helping? That's how I help. That's I can do that. I can pray up something now. I can pray up something. I can pray up something now. He be listening sometime. I promise you, he be listening. He be listening. He be answering the phone like, girl, what you need right now? I pray up something. But my prayers are a little bit different because I don't sit around and just pray. Oh, I pray, get him out for anybody. Like, those are not my prayers. I'm praying that whatever journey that somebody is supposed to be going on, that not only do they make it through that journey, but they understand the journey that they were on. So that whatever was going on before, they don't have to be recorrected again. Like those, my prayers are just a little bit different. They're a little bit different. So I mean, that's where I stand on that. I wanted to come out with the story because I'm like, y'all, right, in his own time. Exactly. A lot of people, they like hearing the stories. They like being kept up to date on stuff. But one thing you have to realize, if you are not willing to accept the truth, even if it's coming from a person that you don't necessarily deal with, then you'll never be up to date on anything. The only thing that you'll be up to date on is foolishness. Because a lot of people are talking about things that other people said. And that's why I said the other night, I don't talk behind people. I'm not going to go and, oh, well, this person said this, so it must be. I'm not doing that. I'm just not, I'm not doing that. And even when people ask me, well, what do you think should happen with this? Well, and they try to demand, like they want me to give them an answer right then. And that's where I lost a lot of people at too, because they wanted me to answer things a certain way. I'm not going to answer things a certain way. I'm going to answer them the way that I'm led to answer them. That's how I operate. And my thing is, I have to make sure that my steps are ordered. I can't let YouTube order my steps. Because they would lead me on a path straight to hell in a handbasket. So I cannot let YouTube, I cannot let YouTube order my steps. No, that's not going to happen. So I'm hoping, I'm hoping that anybody that is in this and they say that they're fighting for this particular person or they're fighting for justice in general, because that's another thing for me, y'all. This is it's like you appreciate people fighting for one person, but I'm like, can y'all please put that same energy into some of these other people that have stuff going on? Because you got people with similar cases and some with cases that are far worse. Some people that don't have cases that they're not as bad, but they can still use this energy. They could definitely use this energy. So when we talk about those scales of justice and that balance, and y'all know that lady with the spokesperson who could really get up there and talk that talk without somebody being able to throw something back in their face that they did or that they said.
Well, like I said, I don't have an issue with Dr. Rodgers. I just leave it where it's at, man. I put God first in everything I do. And that's all that matters. I don't know. But I just wanted y'all to hear the most of it, the logistics of it. Like I say, I wanted y'all to hear the logistics of it. That was, excuse me about that. That was Dr. Rodgers' commentary. I guess it was today or yesterday. But that was Dr. Rodgers' commentary, not mine. that is her piece. And the only thing I say is, man, Miss Shirley, I'm not in this for credit. I ain't worried about that. I'm not in it for credit. I just want to see my guy home. That's all. But look, I'm about to get up out of here. Y'all be blessed. I just wanted y'all to see what was going on. Y'all have a good weekend. Right. But that's all I can say. Yeah, that's all we can say. Y'all have a good weekend, man. I love every last one of y'all. Y'all stay blessed. Don't forget. Oh, I forgot. Let me show y'all real quick. I forgot. I'm sorry. Hold on. I forgot. I am on a new site. If you're into politics, I'm on a site called Rumble. Show my content real quick. I'm on a site called Rumble. I have a whole bunch of videos that's talking about things that's going on. I'm going to be uploading all of my political videos from YouTube and deleting them. Like I say, I have them all up here. You want to see truth? I have the truth up here. I have the Plandemic movie if y'all want to see. There's so much stuff. I have 3 pages full of videos. So my Rumble name is official DanaJay. So when you type in www.rumble.com. So that's what it is. I would like for y'all. This is my video this the video I did today that YouTube has struck me over. Nothing but the truth in this video. They struck me for harassment and bullying, and I'm not talking about no specific person. I'm talking about corporations, and they struck me. So it is what it is. So I'll be on Rumble every day except for the weekend. Monday through Friday, I'm on Rumble. I want y'all to come over. And also on Rumble, they have this thing. Hold on, let me see. Let me see if they allow me. Let me see. I liked it. A plus is a like. Hold on, let me see if they allow me to do it. But when I'm live, but they have this thing. It's like a super chat, but it's called something Rumble. Like I say, y'all come over, man. I would love to see y'all over there. I'm gonna be live streaming. It's new over there to them. So I'm gonna be over there live streaming. Just look up official DanaJay when you come to Rumble. I'll be putting a link up on this page in a community chat every time I get ready to Rumble. Man, I love it over there because I can take my videos and fight against other videos, and when it's just so much, and it's just like super chat. When you come in and you can hit the bag, but that's on the side of the comment bar, and you can donate from $1 to $500. It's just like it's just like super chat. So hey, let me see what y'all saying a little bit before I get out of here, cause I gotta go and get some juice or something. Say last. Yep. What about the paperwork? What about it? What about what paperwork? Love yourself. Levi, come on at 9:30. That's now. Peace. Yep. Levi on now then. Thank you so much. Salute, bro. I'm going to call you when I get off here. She said the word used to get in. Dana, you just stay to your realness and don't fall for their deceiving. Facts. You should have ordered the steps the right way in the beginning. You and Phases carried a lot of bombs. Rumble is $5 a month. No, Rumble is not $5 a month. It's $10 a month. Oh, look what we have here. Hold on.
All right, oh, I got feelings. Oh, you finna get blocked. Yep, you finna get blocked. You put your cash out on my live. The devil is a liar.
I got some new joints that I want to try out, man. Cause we all know that you about to get blocked. We all know about that. But when they come in my chat with this stuff,
Let us pray the pimp's prayer. Lord, please pray for the soul of this bitch and guide my pimp hand and make it strong, Lord, so that she might learn a hoe's place. Oh, yeah! What did you say, nigga?
I take cash out.
What's good, Nyaka?
I don't like to waste time on stupid conversation. There's no profit in that. So if I'm around people that are always complaining with no solutions, then I'm wasting real estate in my brain for what I need to project. And what I project in my brain is what I project in my reality. So that real estate only has to be for evolution, things that are going to help me get where I got to go. You understand? Help me evolve. So if my conversation with you makes me stagnate, we don't have too much conversation either. I don't have no time for no stupid ass conversation.
Say you love it, what you gonna